Hey guys, what is shaking? So pay attention, because this ultimately becomes the most important part of the Unshakable process. So obviously I've written this song on some pretty ugly scratch paper with tears in it and a lot of Parkinson's writing that no artist, nor myself, will probably understand if they had to read it. But of course it's going to win a Grammy. I'm already writing my Grammy acceptance speech as the music's going and they tell me to wrap it up. In all honesty, I wasn't quite sure at this point, what do I do with it? I had no clue. The one thing I did know was that reading it back and vibing it in my own head, it had a country feel to it. I think sometimes country music could hit the soul like no other genre can in a way. Even my favorite artists, the Daughtries, the Shinedowns of the world, like even with their new song Searchlight, they go back to a little bit of country roots. So I know I wanted to do that. And I remember one time I was looking up something about Jersey Shore, because I'm from New Jersey, and a song came up called Jersey Shore by an artist named Kenny Curcio. So I started researching Kenny and I started listening to his music, and I was blown away, absolutely blown away. He wrote a song called Saved You a Seat, which I listen to every day for probably half a year. It's about a son losing his dad like I did, into sports, and how that person's always going to be with him. And that song has touched me, and I'm telling you, anybody, if you've had a loss or not, needs to hear that song, Saved You a Seat by Kenny Curcio. The reason Jersey Shore came up was because he wrote a song, like I said, called Jersey Shore, which is also, his whole catalog is awesome. Reason Kenny wrote a song about Jersey Shore, Kenny is from New Jersey. So I'm saying, wait a minute, I'm from New Jersey, he's from New Jersey, he wrote a song about a dad that's lost. There was just too much tying us together in some weird faith-based way. And I said, you know what, this is going to go nowhere. But I reached out for him. When I tell you, within a day, he reached back out for me, said hi, we started some dialogue. I told him my idea. Without even seeing the lyrics, he said, I'm invested. Let's at least have a conversation about this. So even without knowing what he was looking at, he was willing to, for this community, move forward for the cause. That told me everything I needed to know. I sent him the lyrics. He absolutely fell in love with it. But, like me, we had some work to do there. So he says, let's get together. Now, he lives about 2 hours away from me. And I said, I'll meet you, man. You got a crazy road schedule. He's touring. He goes, no, I'm not going to do that to you. Let's meet halfway. So, like all great, important things that happened in New Jersey, we met at a diner. It was such a great morning. We said grace over some of the state's best omelets and pancakes and coffee, and we had a great chat. I knew that at that very moment, this was going to happen. Even without us getting into the musical side of it too much, the one thing I did say to Kenny was, I said, listen, I know we have some work to do here. He loved the lyrics, but again, he would know musically what would work and what wouldn't. But the one thing at that point that I still didn't have was, I still didn't have an homage or a thank you to Michael J. Fox. And I give him full credit. I said, Kenny, help me work this in. I can't write this song without it. It doesn't have it. That's one of the things that we need to do. So again, we had some of Jersey's best omelets. We had some coffee. We had a great conversation. Hugged it out in the parking lot. And from that point on, we became buds. I consider Kenny family. I'd do anything for him. I highly, highly recommend you check him out. He was the first artist I got on board. And again, all over a diner, like great things in New Jersey happen. So that's how I got Kenny, and at least, I don't say involved, but he was involved for the cause, but willing to move forward with the process of seeing where this could go. So that's where we stand at this point.